Morphe has just released their new Forbidden collection, and I'm so excited to talk about everything with you. We have lip oils, lip stains, lip liners, eyeshadow palettes. I want to do eye swatches, live swatches. I want to give you my review. I want to do tutorial. I want to do comparisons. I want to do everything. Let's jump into it. There are 2 eyeshadow palettes as a part of this collection. Let's start off by talking about Forbidden Honey. This is a 9-pan palette that retails for $15, which I feel like is a really nice price point. This is more like pinky shades. We have some of those honey colors. We have some browns, some neutrals, all kind of like pinky with a little bit of rose gold in there. I think this one looks really, really cute. I think it's fresh for spring. I think it's fun. And we do have another palette. This is the Pulp Fantasy palette. It has more like these taupey, cool tone brown shades. We have a little bit of purpley violet colors, and I'm really drawn to that green in the center, that kind of mint green shade. I think that looks super pretty. Of course, we're gonna try all these shades on the eyes, but I wanted to go ahead and let you see the palettes up close. Morphe also released 3 lip pencils with this collection. These are their color pencils, and I keep going back and forth on if these are a little more creamy than the color pencils that were a yearly favorite that I love from the brand, or if they're the same formula. I feel like they might be slightly more creamy, but I can't be sure. I love Morphe's pencils. I talk about them all the time, and I am happy to have more shades. I do think these shades are really, really beautiful. I think they complement the collection really well. Next, we have the Lust Potion by Phase lip oils. That is a mouthful of a name. I think these are pretty. I love a shimmer. Give me a shimmer on the lips and I'm sold. They have this very shimmer sparkly finish. They're very, very sheer, and they do have a fruity scent to them, which I really like. I'm into it. I think these are really pretty. They feel very hydrating and comfortable on the lips. I think they're really pretty on their own. I think they're really pretty layered over top of things. I think this is a cute release. I really like Morphe lip glosses. I talked about their glosses so much last year. I think they're really, really nice. So I'm excited to see them kind of launching more lip products. But I'm maybe most excited about these Love Bite lip stains because I love lip stains. I'm so into them. I have so many. I'm always on the hunt for more. I have worn all of these. They wear really well throughout the day. I'm impressed. Like, I am impressed. They didn't bring out a ton of shades, and hopefully I like these. Hopefully other people will like these, and maybe Morphe will kind of expand, give us some more shades. I love to see a brand that's at such a great price point doing some really great things. But of course, we are going to eye swatch all of the shades in these palettes. Now, when I do eye swatches, I like to show you how they apply just to bare skin on my hand. I'm gonna swatch them for you so you can see how they do, and then we are gonna put them on my eyes on top of a primer. Let's jump in to the live swatches and the eye swatches. We're gonna start with the 2 shades right here on the top row. We have Never Vanilla, and these feel super like creamy. I think these are gonna be pigmented. Let's see, we'll put it right here, and I'll just do that one swipe. I kind of picked up too much. Let me smooth that out a little bit. I think I went too hard in because I didn't know if the shadow, like what the texture was gonna be like. So now I know I need to go in just a little bit softer handed, and we'll do Taboo, the shade right here. Okay, this is a really nice, smooth shimmer formula. Oh, okay, like that's looking cute. So there it is, just on my hand. I put down a little bit of my Ulta Beauty eyeshadow primer, and I've got the shade Vanilla on my finger. I'm gonna just pop that right on top of the primer. And that is really, really a pretty shadow. Okay, that was smooth and pigmented. I'm now gonna go in with a brush so we can see how this shadow kind of blends. I'm not going to make it perfect because, again, this is just eye swatches so that you can see kind of how they go on the eyes. And that is pigmented, smooth, really, really nice. I mean, I am 37 years old. I am living in a humid place. I have oily skin. I do have some wrinkles and crinkles in my lid, so bear that in mind. But isn't that nice and pretty? I mean, I feel like that's looking really great. Here is that shimmer shade called Taboo. I'm just gonna put the shimmer shades on with my finger. That's really, really cute. I like that. That's a cute, like, almost like rose gold-esque type of color to it. I'm just gonna put a little more on, and I'm just kind of tapping it. I have deep set eyes, so I have to really kind of make sure I get my lid covered. I have to work it in there, but that is cute. That has a lot of shine to it. It's a very light shimmer shade, so you could definitely use it on the inner corner or as a lid color. I mean, do whatever you want to do, but I think that's pretty. We're gonna do this shade right here and this shade right here now. So first up, we'll do Hungry Eyes. This is another shimmer shade. Oh, that's really pretty. That's really reflective. I like that. We're gonna do Craving More, the matte kind of like cool toned taupey color. Can you see that? It's really like mid-tone, almost a gray brown. Now I do have a warm olive undertone, so it is pulling a little gray on me, but it's really, really pretty. So your undertone, like if you're a cool undertone, it can make things look super cool or super warm. For me, I'm olive, I have that green, but I'm more warm leaning. So it is going to depend. So I do like to show you on my hand and my eyes, of course. I'll put Hungry Eyes, that beautiful shimmer on this lid. That's really, really pretty. It's gonna pop even more if you have like a deeper base underneath. That's a nice shiny shimmer though. I like that shade a lot. Here is the shade called Craving More. Blending really easily. It's got nice pigment. I mean, it's a light color, so it's looking really good. Smooth blend. I'm feeling hopeful. This palette is working really well for me. Both of these shades look really pretty on the eyes. Before I wipe off these eye swatches, we'll do these two swatches right here. So we have Snake Bite, which looks like this really gorgeous kind of green. Let's put it here. That's really like iridescent. I'm into that. And then we'll do Satisfaction. This one, I'm gonna put it under this other matte color because I wanna see the difference. They're quite similar. This one is definitely a little deeper, and it's maybe a little more, I don't know, it pulls a little more cool toned on me even than that other shade. Now Morphe does have a little insert with this palette that says you can use these shadows kind of like wet or dry depending on the effect you want. You can get like this molten effect. I usually spray my shimmers with a little setting spray after I have them on my brush. It helps give me less fallout, and it gives me just like that smooth finger-like application. I will definitely do that when we get to like the demo where I'm kind of like doing a look with the palette. But for now, I just want to show you how all these shadows apply dry. Here is the shade Snake Bite. This is a very, very, very light green shimmer. It's like a minty green, so it's not going to be in your face green if that's what you were thinking. I don't think it looks that way in the pan. I think it looks like the pan to my eyes. It looks like the same shade. I'm going to put that matte shade called Satisfaction right over here. That's a cute color. Yeah, it's a neutral. On me, it's definitely looking a little more like purpley in undertone, but I think that's a cute color. I kind of like the way these two shades look together. They would be really pretty layered for a look, you know? That's pretty. Now, if you're new here, I want to let you know that eye swatches get very messy. If you're not new here, you already know. It just gets messy right out here because I'm putting on shadow, I'm taking it off, I'm putting on shadow, I'm taking it off. So it just kind of starts to get a little, you know, a little much. So don't worry about that. It's just about seeing the shadows on the lid. We have 2 shades down here. We have 3 shimmers left. So let's do Safe Word right here. This looks really cute. I'm gonna swatch Safe Word. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and put that on my eyes. Okay, there is Safe Word. Isn't that lovely? Wow. Oh, I like that. If you Love this type of like rose gold coppery color. Ooh, 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 that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, I'm really into that shade. I'm really into the finish of that shadow. This is like a step up in formula for Morphe. Like this, they elevated. I can tell they elevated. I'm really happy about that. Let's do Grapevine right here. We have two, like we have an odd number of shades. So let's see if we can put Blindfold and Grapevine on the same lid. Okay, let's just see. Let me see. Do I have any more room on my hand here? I can kind of swatch here. That's pretty, right? That lilac-y color. And then, I want to make sure we have like a smooth spot to swatch. I like that. Okay, let's swatch these two on the same eye. Okay, I'm gonna put Grapevine right there. That's cute, right? Okay, let me see if I can carry this over a little bit. I like that. That's a pretty light lilac-y shade. And then we'll do Blindfold right here. That's so pretty. Okay, that's pretty. Morphe, okay. Morphe is upgrading. I'm into it. Let me put that a little more on the lid and then out a little bit. Okay. Oh, like that's pigmented. I know this is not like the best placement, but it's about seeing how they actually just look on the eyes, if they're pigmented or patchy, and that is nice. Oh, this right here, don't play with me. That's beautiful, but I'm into this. Now it is time to eye swatch our Forbidden Honey palette. I'm excited about this. We're gonna live swatch and eye swatch. I automatically like that this palette does have a deeper shade. That's something that's missing for me in the Pulp Fantasy palette. It's deep in the shimmer shade, but it doesn't have a deep matte shade. So I do like that we have this brown, even though it's not super deep in terms of dark shadow. It's still kind of more towards the mid-tone range, but I'm excited to play with this palette. I want to swatch this shade first because I do want to show you like what this looks right on top of a primer. This is called Dark Paradise, and I'm really excited to swatch this shade too. So this is Devour. I'm going to swatch these two side by side. So we'll do Dark Horse right here. See what I mean? It's pretty, it's deep, but it's not super, super dark. It's just in case you were curious. And then here is that pretty, ooh, look at that, kind of icy, pinky, duochrome type of shade. It kind of goes to like this, like pinky purple. I don't know. I like it. I'm going to grab my primer. Here is that shimmer shade Devour. Isn't that pretty? I really think Morphe has stepped it up with their shimmer formula. I like that. So far, I like the shimmers in both of these palettes. I just wish we had like some deeper mattes, but overall, I think that's really pretty. And the shadows have been performing really well for me. Here is that dark brown matte called Dark Paradise with my finger, and I'm just going to blend it a little bit so that you can see how it applies with the brush. That's really pretty, right? I'm into it. Okay. I really like this shimmer over here, but this is blending so easily. There are those two shades. I think they're super, super cute. For our next swatches, we'll do these two shades right here. Here is the pink matte called Too Tempting. That's pretty light in the swatch. So let's see how it applies on the eyes. I'm just tapping that right on top of that primer. That's actually blending really well with my finger. It is a matte with the sparkle, and those shades typically do blend really easily, but I think it's nice. Let's do the shade next. Deeper is what it's called, and I will swatch that right here next to the pink. That's pretty. That's really pretty, and we will put that there. I think that's a very, very pretty color. It catches the light well too. So here we have the pink and that coppery shade. Super pretty, very springtime. Next, we'll do these two shades, Honey Blossom and Entwined. Here is Honey Blossom, that really pretty rose gold, kind of like a duochrome-esque effect, and Entwined, which is another matte with shimmer. So this one should blend really easily too. That one is not a whole lot deeper than my skin tone. Very pretty kind of honey shade. Here is the shade Honey Blossom, that center shade. That's a really cute pinky rose gold. Let me get a little bit more so I can really get this across my lid for you. That's cute. Okay, let's do Entwined. I'll put Entwined right here. Again, this one's not super far off from my skin tone. I'm just going to buff this on with my brush so that you can see these cute shades next to each other. Both of these shades are really soft, but really, really cute. Blending nicely. All right, blending nicely. We've got some pretty shine over here. We have these three shades left, so let's swatch Skin Contact. We'll kind of put that one right here. That's a pretty pastel color. So these pastels are gonna do best when you pack them on. Really, that's with any pastel, or you can use them as like blending colors to kind of soften things up. But if you want it to be like pastel like it is in the pan, you want to pack. You can also use a light base like white, and that's gonna really get your pastel shadows to show up well. I like using pastels for a pop on the inner corner, something like that, and that's when I would use the packing type motion, but a lot of times I will use pastels to blend out deeper shadows. There are two shades left, and they're both kind of mid-tone pinky shades, so we'll just swatch those together. I'll do Nectar, that shade in the middle. Let's see, we can kind of swatch that maybe right here. And then we'll do Sweet Sting, yes. Okay, I just had to check myself because I'm like, what is Sweet Sting? Let's put that there. Let's do this. We'll put Nectar right on the inner part of my lid. That's really, really mid-tone peachy pink, so it's not gonna show up a ton on me. I'm gonna use that packing motion. There you go, you can see. And then I'm gonna put Sting right out here. Okay, these shades are cute. They look pretty similar on the eye, but you can see right in here it is lighter where that more like light peachy shade is, and then it transitions a bit. They're not super different on the eyes. I do wish this palette, just like the other palette, had a deeper matte, but I understand that's not the vibe. That's just my personal preference. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the shades on the eyes in the eye swatches. I am excited to show you some comparisons to some other palettes. Here are the two Morphe palettes next to Garden Lights. I just wanted to show you this in case you were interested in the shimmers. I did think of this palette because it does have some purpley tones and some neutral tones with that little bit of pink. I also have Moira's I'm Falling For You palette. This one has some pinky tones, some purples, and it has those kind of peachy shades with a little bit of neutral. Not the same at all, just kind of wanting to show you some comparisons in case you were thinking like I do. I also pulled my ColourPop Beauty and the Beast palette. This one is super, super cute, and I thought that this one would be good to show you because you do have a little bit of blue. It's more like blue, not violet blue, but I thought you could see these side by side because you do have the pinky tones and the neutrals. Let's jump into the tutorial. Jumping into the look, I already have a little fail. I was talking and I did not have my mic on, but I did not get far. So let me tell you, I just have eyeshadow primer on. I chose an eyeshadow primer that's very similar to my skin tone. And then we're gonna use our Forbidden Honey palette, and we're going in with Entwined. I already have it on this eye over here. I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my primer, and we'll put this shade on together. This shade is called Entwined, and it's not much deeper than my skin tone, so I'm just using this to give me some definition, and I'm taking the brush and I'm kind of feeling where the socket of my eye is, right in here, up and out, to give me that little bit of definition. Now I'm going to dip into Dark Paradise. I love warm shades like this, warm browns, so pretty, and we're going to use this just to deepen up the outer corner. So I'm gonna press it on first, and I wanna see how this dark brown is going to go on top of my lid right here where I have no shadow. And then I want to blend it up and see how it layers over top of that first shadow that we put down. So I'm just going to kind of press onto my lid and then bring it up and out and buff and blend. It's layering well, and don't worry, we're going to blend in here. I just wanted to see how this would layer on, and I'm going to extend it out a little bit too. Now, if you don't want the warmer tones like I'm going for, just use this palette instead, the Pulp Fantasy, and go into these shades. They're definitely more cool toned, and you can do something similar vibes without the warmth that I'm getting. I'm gonna go back with that first brush that I used, no additional shadow, and just blend so that everything is seamless out here. I'm gonna pack just a little more of that shade right here on my lid, because I want it to be as deep as it is in the pan, which is not super deep in the pan, but I want to get it as much depth as possible. I'm gonna go over to the Pulp Fantasy palette, and I want to use this shade right here called Safe Word. It's so pretty. I'm gonna pick this up on my brush, and after the shadow is on my brush, I'm gonna spray my brush with a little setting spray and use the shadow like that on my lid. It's just gonna help minimize any fallout and give me a little more intensity. I'm going to press the shadow off of my brush. I like to press and then blend, so I want to make sure I get that shimmer down, I get that foiled effect that I want. And once I have all the shadow off my brush, then I will go and I'll do my little blending motions. I like to take my shimmer up kind of high. I think it's a little ethereal and fun. That's such a pretty color. I don't know why, I love the way that looks. I'm bringing my shadow in, kind of far in right here, because I want this to give me some depth, some dimension, to be like catching that shimmer when I'm going about my day today. I want to go into the shade deeper now. I want to pick that up on kind of a small fluffy brush. This is from the Forbidden Honey palette. I want to put this pretty shimmer copper shade on my lower lash line. I want something kind of soft down there rather than something really deep. So I'm just going to lightly blend it around like this. I did not spray my brush, I just picked it up and I'm buffing it in. Just soft, easy, effortless. You know the vibes. We're gonna pull in this icy green called Snake Bite. I did spray my brush after I picked up the shadow, and I'm just gonna press this on the inner corner. I wanna have this icy pastel green as our kind of like inner corner pop. I want it to be intense, so I'm pressing it on first. I want it to be like pop, pressing, and then I will lightly blend, but I want it to be there, you know? I don't want to over blend and make it just kind of like not bam icy green vibes. I want it to be cute on the inner corner, and I think that's really cute. I'm going to throw on liner, probably a false lash, and be back. All right, y'all, here is my finished look. I just threw on a little bit of lash, some lip liner, and I am feeling this. I love this neutral eye look with the pop of the minty green inner corner. I think it's fresh. It's giving me like winter into spring vibes, and I'm into it. Not super complex, not hard to do, just kind of glam, but also in an effortless way. You know, that's kind of how I'm feeling. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all of these products in action. I am super excited about the lip stains. They really do stain, and they wear away really beautifully. So I would say that's probably the thing I'm like most excited about. And I'm also super excited about these lip oil glosses because I love a shimmery, sparkly lip, and I think these are so cute. They're sheer, they're sparkly, they give me some like moisture to my lips, they're comfortable. I'm into it. I like the lip liners. Like I said, I can't decide if I like them as much as their color pencils. I go back and forth. Like, are they a little more creamy? Are they the same? I feel like maybe they're just a touch more creamy, so I do prefer the color pencils, but they're good, okay? Specifically the shade that I'm wearing now, like they are really pretty. I think the palettes are nice, they're easy. I think Morphe has stepped it up in terms of quality of shadow, and overall I'm feeling like this collection is giving me hope for the future of Morphe. I fell in love with some Morphe products that I tried last year. They became favorites for me, and this makes me really excited to see where the brand is going. I'm excited for this new direction. I want to see what they bring out. I would love to see maybe some deeper, darker, more intense palettes. I would love to know what you think of this collection. Definitely let me know down in the comments, and I'm gonna pop up some more videos because I would love it if you would stick around and talk makeup with me.